Hello and welcome back, one and all, to the Queens of Tart. Hey, Alana.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, well, what can we say? Um, I'm feeling in the pink. That's what I
Feeling in
am.
the
I'm feeling in the pink. Healthy, happy, but I have one question. One question. Do you think that we pay too much for the color pink?
I think so. I mean, in terms of its expense, in terms of fashion, in terms of makeup, yeah, then pink can be quite expensive. And
Well,
even, I've started to drench my apartment in pink. I don't know if it's just because of a particular theme that I was going for, but yeah, I think we pay too much in general,
well,
aesthetically, for
well,
the
apparently, according to all business sources,
yeah.
Um, women pay a lot higher taxes on everything than men. It starts when we're young. So, okay, let me have a look here. You've got the pricing disparity starts when girls are young. So even when we're little 10-year-olds or 5-year-olds, they're charging us double almost what they charge. I mean, take a look at the price of a girl's scooter versus a boy's scooter. Damn it, I want a red scooter.
And it's for the aesthetics. Why? Because it's probably pink. It's girled out, got
But
more decorative.
why? Why do we need pink?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I say this like I don't need pink. I mean, doing my scrunchies are pink. Would the scrunchie be cheaper if it was sold for a boy? Or does he have to pay the same price for his brown one?
Yeah, that's such a good point because it's something that I haven't really thought about. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think by default we do spend more money, and that's because we like to make ourselves feel good. Like for instance, for hairstyling, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a makeup artist. Men pay less money for a haircut, and there's two factors that come into that. One, guys, they don't take as long, generally speaking. They've mostly, for the most part, a lot of men wear their hair short. And number two, they don't really care about the fancy stuff. They just want to go in, get their little hair, clipped or buzzed or whatever. And generally speaking, it takes less time than when a female sits down, she gets her hair done because they have less hair than us. So I have to
True.
charge more for women because it takes more time because they wear their hair long, they wear their hair down, their hair might
Yeah.
be thicker, might be fuller, and they want the hot style after. So whether that be they want curls or they want like really fancy blow dry. So it
Mm.
takes more time, so therefore more money. So yeah, women do spend more money in aesthetics and with makeup as well. I mean, okay, there's guys out there that do wear makeup, but women for weddings and stuff, they go and get the whole face done, they get all glammed out for
Well,
prom.
okay, here's a question, and I'm not the one who goes and gets my hair styled every week. I couldn't afford it even if I tried hard.
Yeah.
So once a year I get my hair done, try to look good and whatever, and hope to God it lasts 12 months. Never does, but there you go. Um, Now, when I've gone for haircut, I can go for a small haircut with
Yeah,
no wash or blow or anything, and it'll cost me about $35.
that's not bad.
Well, most of the time I've kept my hair at shoulder length, so I kind of like don't have the long hair. You know, I don't have the long hair. But if I wanted to get it styled, how much would that cost me?
I mean, it depends from salon to salon and from hairstylist to hairstylist, but generally speaking, that might cost you maybe about 60. Like it gets more expensive, the more that
It
you
gets
add.
more expensive with what the color or the perming or the
Yeah.
styling or whatever it is that
And
you
it
have to
boils
do.
down to, yeah, and it boils down to the level of stylist. So, say I charge less right now because I'm new with my company. But had I been more established with this company, like say I've been there for a few years, I'm now at a different level of hairstylist, if you will, I'll charge for more. But that's just the setup, how the salon runs. It depends, like from salon to salon, and then I charge less, like if you're only going in there getting a haircut and getting like a quick little rough dry and not the whole like style, then I'll charge less, right? So it really boils down to the level of hairstylist, how long they might have been in the industry, the type of service that you're booking for. It comes down to all
Give
those
us a
different
round
factors.
figure, an average round figure.
Let's
What
say,
would
oh,
it
I don't
cost a woman to get her hair styled?
know.
She's going for a wedding. Boom, how much?
Oh, if she's going to a wedding, probably 100 if you're getting your makeup done, your hair done at least.
So you're spending at least 100. And that's even if you just want to look nice to go out on a date,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you know,
Right?
yeah,
Okay. So and
maybe, yeah,
that's not even including a new outfit or new shoes or a new bag. Granted, Value Village is great, but
yeah. Love Value Village. Value Village is the best. I love Value Village. We the equivalent of our charity shops, we call them in the UK.
yes. Although
Secondhand.
I don't know, Value Village might be, but they've got a lot of sort of like vintage stores over here, which we could get at our second-hand stores in the UK for like a third or half or less than the price of that. Because they'd like, oh, it's vintage, so now it's double the freaking price.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And that's a very true point because even vintage stores you go into and some of them really rack up the prices
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
vintage, it's a particular style that maybe isn't around so much anymore. So yeah, you're right actually. They can go a little bit higher.
Yeah, so between the new and the vintage and the value village, where's it go
Like,
to get
yeah,
something nice or different to feel, make yourself feel pretty? I mean, and I mean, it's bad enough. I mean, there you go. It says, and it doesn't let up when you're old, so you've got your tampons as well. And
yeah.
this goes right the way through until suddenly you're menopausal, itchy bitchy, scratchy, and witchy,
Yeah.
which was last week's episode.
Yeah, yeah, that's a whole other ball game. But no, I generally agree with you that there's this sort of thing that maybe not so much anymore. We're living in a time where people are a lot more open to the idea of paying the same amount, getting paid the same amount as men. But I have heard this like float around, like men like, oh, well, we pay more on the day, and not necessarily like I always offer personally. I'm always that person to offer like, hey, let's go half and half. But there are men out there, not all of them, but they will say, oh, well, we pay more on the day, and it's like, well, we pay more just getting
Before we
ready.
get there.
We're paying money for our nails. We're getting our hair done.
That's another thing, and there's so many different options on nails. I mean, just to have a manicure itself is not too bad with a bit of pink nail polish. You can get them for about 30, 35 bucks top end.
Yeah, yeah.
You go for anything more where you have the fancy long nails. Personally, I don't know how girl picks her nose that way. It's just like,
Or does anything
or
else like
even type on the type. I mean, geez, I'm
right?
always typing. I can't have those long nails. But I mean, they go
Yeah,
upwards of sort of like, and then there's the pedicure if you want to wear sandals, which is
yeah,
another 25 and or 50 bucks depending on what you're having done.
yeah.
So, and the makeup, how much is makeup? God, the last time
Makeup
I bought
is
makeup was 2021. It's going
expensive.
dry now.
Makeup is so expensive, and I actually, my money. If I'm looking at the more expensive things that I buy in life, it is probably makeup because I try and get brands that one, are going to last me the whole day. So and again, this is just my background as a makeup artist. I'm looking at how it's like how the pigment's staying on my hand, and if it's a high quality eyeshadow, it stays there and it's not crumbling off. And number two, because of how sensitive my face is, I have to spend money a little bit more on that dermatology tested stuff. So that
Okay.
and I have to spend a little bit more because I know that if I pick up any random brand, my face could break out in hives, I could become itchy, scratchy. So then that's another factor. I'm like, well,
You don't
great.
even need menopause.
Like, and that's the thing. I'm like, oh, I could spend like amount on like a foundation, and then all of a sudden I'm like allergic to it, and I'm like, well, I can't use it now, and I've just wasted that money. I'm gonna have to gift it or resell to someone else, and I hope I get that money back. So yeah, makeup's really expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, if we think about it, it takes an awful lot of money to look like this. You
Yeah, yeah,
got to go to the gym, you got to go to the stores to buy sexy fashion. And it's not just about looking good when you go out on a date. You've got to dress smart to go to the office. Dressing down to the shop. I mean, as a model and actor, my agent said to me, you've always got to make sure you go out and you look nice when you go out because you're representing the company and yourself. And I'm thinking,
yeah,
listen, as long as my
yeah.
face is cheese and my teeth are brushed, the clothes that I've got on is clean, I can't afford this fashion. I've got
No,
jeans that are 20 years old. And granted,
yeah.
they don't have any holes in them, but that's because 20 years ago they made good jeans.
Well, also, even like the younger generation, like teenagers today, they're wearing these like designer pardon me, like these designer shoes and these labels. And I'm like, my parents couldn't afford that when I was your age.
Yeah, but their parents can obviously afford it, or they're nicking them out the
Yeah,
store. Sorry, I shouldn't say that they're nicking them out the store. Maybe they do have jobs and stuff.
maybe.
And people say, oh, you can't afford to buy a house, stop buying avocado toast. It's not the avocado toast that's the freaking problem. It's
Yeah,
the stuff.
it's stuff. Yeah, exactly.
It's this kind of stuff where you don't want to be alone, so you want to be with a guy. You got to pay all the pink taxes on everything you freaking do, which also means on the freaking well pills and everything else you have to buy, so that a man doesn't get you pregnant and doesn't have to take responsibility for shit. Okay,
Yeah.
they're not all like that, but there's enough of them for me to point fingers.
But it's we've really boiled down to what that point that you were just saying, especially with the younger generation. As I get older, I care less about, how people, obviously it comes to a degree, like I want people to view me in a certain way with my work, and I want to look as though I take care of myself because I'm taking care of other people in terms of hair and makeup. But generally speaking, I don't care what people think of my fashion sense. So as long as I like the way I look, but a lot when you're growing up and you're in that younger crowd, you do care so much. It's like the end of the world. It's like, oh, I have to be cool like so and so. So this is the trend, and they really get wrapped up in that trend, and they're
Mm,
buying stuff, and they're like, oh, they all tend to after a while look the same because that's what's trending and that's what's fashionable, especially on
yeah,
social media, TikTok and Instagram. They're like, oh, okay, well,
that's
those
hard work. Fuck, I mean, it was bad enough when I was a kid. I mean, that was like last century.
Have you seen the Labubu things? The
The
little
who?
toys that are going around?
Or
They're
the
like a
who?
fashion. I think it's like a Korean thing. So they're these little plush toys, like mascots, and they're really expensive. And if you go out and you keep your eye out, they're everywhere. They're attached to bags. People are just carrying them around because it's a statement. It's like, oh, I can afford this like designer little plush thing.
That's the whole thing about keeping up with the freak. I hate to tell you
Yeah.
this, but
Yeah.
I'm okay. Granted, I haven't hit the plus sizes. I'm still just sort of like top end small. I'm sort of like medium to pushing up the numbers. Hey, yo, wait. But we're told that we're not allowed to put on weight. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you have kids, get married. We're not allowed to put on weight. We've got to look sexy all the time. And, I just want comfortable clothes.
Well,
I don't
that's it.
want to dress up like that all the time.
No, no. Well, that's it. It's just you want to dress for comfort. You want to be comfortable in your own skin and your own body. But yeah,
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 and
yeah,
it's a case of oh, before and after. This is my life.
yeah.
I mean, what's the girl supposed to say? I mean, you think about it years ago, right? Now we're just average middle class, lower class, working class people. Now, in the olden days, like in the olden Victorian days, the middle class, lower classes people didn't worry, all they did. This is what they call frumpy today. But that's the way
Mhm.
people who don't have money, it doesn't matter which decade, century, or millennia you're in, we can't all afford makeup. We're not all we're not all Cleopatra.
It's true.
You
It's
know,
true. I
this is,
even I even
this
spend
is
less
how
now.
rich people do it. Why are we trying to keep up with the rich people all the time?
Well, that's it, right?
And
Well, yeah,
meanwhile, we're just spending money on the crap that they make so that we can feel rich and famous with a fad on our backpack.
yeah, yeah. It's so true.
And they
And
tell me capitalism isn't a problem. Bloody hell.
well, it's a status thing. It's always been status. Like even back, well, mind you, the people of higher class back in the day, the stuff that they would do to themselves would actually be their downfall. They'd be putting stuff in their makeup, and it was poisonous most of the time.
They put lead in their makeup. What was the stuff that they put the base or whatever was a white
Yeah,
paste almost. It
exactly.
almost looked like it was caked on like iced onto their faces.
And we're still, some of us are still doing that today, caking it on, but it made them, you knew that because it would make their skin look more fair. Again, it makes our skin look more smooth. So some of those traditions are still carried to today. The only difference is they're not killing us. Because they would literally make the flesh rot away. Like, how gross is
Oh,
that? They would literally cake it on. Yes, I'm of higher power. Yes, I've got more money than you. But the
but I'm gonna
downfall is
die of
that it's
lead
killing
poisoning because
them.
I put white shit on my face.
Exactly. And that other, there was that other, I can't remember. It was almost like this radioactive green color, and it was really popular. And it was poisonous. It started killing people, and they're putting it on their dresses, the drapes, their curtains, like their tablecloths, because it was like, this is a rich color, and only us rich can afford it. Again, it killed them because it was like radioactive, it was poisonous. So it's like, at what cost? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean,
um,
it's also a case of sort of like losing your sense of self. How, I mean, somebody said to me the other day, because on some of my pages, I've taken my face,
yeah.
and put it through one of those sort of like puzzle wow things and stuff, and it
Yeah.
makes you look younger and prettier. And I think, oh, I don't need wigs, I don't need makeup, I don't need a facelift, I'm fine.
Yeah. And
But
yeah.
that, to me, I mean, granted, there is one thing and I'm doing them now is my teeth. I've got to get my teeth sorted. But that's about the only sort of like thing that I think that is it's important. But that's not just because it's cosmetic, because my teeth need to look good. It's also because I need to eat.
Well, that's it as well.
And any bad health with my teeth is only going to
Yeah.
ruin the rest of my health. Granted, when
Yeah.
my teeth are a bit dodgy, my diet is marvelous and I lose tons of weight.
Yeah. No, you're looking fantastic. You really are. And that's the thing what you were just saying, like it's so easy, like for people to, use AI now. That's
I
another thing.
know.
It's,
And I
it's
mean, I'm not
incredible.
using it here, of course. And this is me,
Yeah.
as you see. But today I put on a little bit of sort of like a bass and the rouge and just to make myself look a little bit better on a TV.
But it also concerns me about that because somebody actually did a real left a real comment, and this really hit me the other day on one of these videos. It's like actors are going to go extinct because it's like, oh my God, I hope not. I hope that we won't, get replaced by AI. But the more this AI stuff keeps popping up, I get a bit concerned for us actors because it's
I
like,
do too. However,
it's
I have found a
crazy.
flaw in this with the AI. They don't have a natural way of speaking. It doesn't matter that they can copy or mimic our voice.
True. That's
They cannot pronounce words the way we do. And this is, I couldn't tell you in other languages, it might not be noticeable. Say, for example, in Mandarin or but that's mostly Mandarin or Russian. That's mostly because I don't understand the languages, so it wouldn't sound that different to me. But in English, it is very, very noticeable how there's no punctuation because everywhere, oh, you don't need punctuation. Yes, you do. Because even when they're spouting out scripts, then it's just read wrong. If you listen carefully, especially to some YouTube channels, you'll find it's disjointed. The sentence doesn't flow as well. I mean, they're saying, "Oh, we're teaching them." Yeah, we can teach them only so much. They
yeah.
cannot provide the nuances. Granted, they can make us look younger now, but they could use me at 70 and do the whole AI to make me look younger, and it would actually cost them more.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I haven't actually. There must be billions going into that industry. Like how much money they must be spending into this AI technology.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it cheaper than hiring an actor? I don't know.
No, well, because you gotta hire. I mean, here's the other thing. Another thing about the AI and all wonderful stuff. Photoshop is one thing because it's an art application within Adobe, I think, or some other software.
Yeah.
And we use that on photographs, and we've used that for quite a while. But the AI itself, I mean, for example, Google or whoever is doing this kind of stuff is employing people in Africa and places like Kenya and Nigeria and stuff, where these are African countries who they don't have to pay them a lot of money. But because of colonialism, they have a vast knowledge of European languages. You've got
Mm.
Portuguese, you've got French, you've got Italian, you've got English. I think, and there's might even be some Spanish thrown in there as well. I'm not 100% who did what at the North there, but those are the languages plus their own languages. So
Mhm.
they can actually do a lot. In fact, when you just look at their linguistic skills, they are smarter than us.
Yeah. Yeah,
because they have so many languages. They don't speak one language or two languages. They speak four or five,
that's crazy.
you know, and but they don't always speak them to the same proficiency as an English speaking person or a French speaking because they'll have brought their own Africanism into these things, and that's marvelous. That's what happens with language, but they're not exact. Um, People react differently. Somebody being rich in Africa, you don't have to have a lot of money to be rich in Africa.
No, no, correct.
I
Yeah,
mean, if you take a millionaire in Africa is a poor man in USA,
yeah, that's so true, actually. Yeah, I
but in
guess it kind of
Africa,
boils
he's
down
a
to the
wealthy man.
yeah, yeah, it's true, and that really boils down to sort of status viewed in different countries and stuff as
Yeah,
well, right? Like again, going back to the tax thing, well, we know we pay more taxes probably out here in the USA and Canada than maybe they pay less tax in Africa. I don't really know how it works, but
yeah,
it's
but
like,
we can still get like up to $25 an hour for our work. They're getting
yeah,
$3 a day.
yeah. So it's like, why would they have to pay more?
And you think that why are they letting people in companies from here invest over there and get away with such a disparity in pay? Shouldn't be allowed. You know,
No,
and then still want to tax people on all this crap that they're selling us.
yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
don't know how we actually got from pink taxes to AI. I mean, do you think we'll be taxed for pink AI as well?
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe you do get taxed on the development of AI, depending, I wonder if you get to, there's so many different branches that could go off from this, so many different, like, it's an umbrella, right, of tax. And where does tax fall into?
And
Tax on,
exactly who's going to get the business out of these fancy, pretty people and stuff who can't speak properly?
yeah,
You know, we're just going. I don't know.
yeah.
Doomsday, and I started out all in the freaking pink. Oh, feeling so freaking in the pink right now.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway,
But anyway, we all want to look great and marvelous. Had a great pictures and stuff. Haven't used them all. I mean, you don't have. I mean, I'm sitting here comfortably now, and I love being in Canada because in Canada, well, at least my clothes size is a size smaller than it is in the UK. I
oh,
hate my shoe size though, because here I'm a whole two sizes freaking bigger. That's another freaking problem I have with what they do to everything woman.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's so like fun to like clothes shop and then compare it to the UK because it's like, gosh, I don't know what I am over here. I fluctuate. It's like sometimes I could be a large here because of the way my shoulders are. They're really, really broad. And then sometimes I could be like a medium. It just fluctuates. As
And
long as you're
where was the
happy in
stuff
yourself.
made? If the stuff was made in China, you can damn sure you're an extra large.
Oh
Because
gosh,
you're not
yeah.
the
Like I
same
feel like
size as somebody
everyone
made
would
in
be
China.
an extra large.
I mean, the Japanese ladies are really tiny and petite.
They're very small. They have very small frames. Very small.
The
Yeah.
Europeans aren't. We've got Neanderthal feet.
I also think it comes down to diet as well, right? We have a lot more sugar, it's probably a lot more salt, whereas their diets seem very clean. Like it's a lot of like rice and raw fish and stuff, right? So it's
Yeah.
actually it's really one of the healthier diets with what they're eating. They're not
Yeah, it's
eating as
not
many,
so, what's the
yeah,
word they used it? Refined. You think the
refined,
word
yeah.
refined sugar means it's fancy sugar? No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Sugar is just sugar. Even fruit has a lot of sugar in.
Well, yeah, that's sort of, but then you've also got to think to yourself, the diets that we go through, the money that we spend to go on these diets,
Oh gosh.
just so that
Even
men cannot call us frumps. I'm really I think I'm going to start promoting frump couture.
from Couture.
Yeah, yeah, what did I do with that one? I had a great one. That's frump couture.
From Couture.
Frump-
That's funny.
Because I'm sorry, we can't afford pomp couture. Pomp and I've coined a new term. If anybody uses it, it's mine. I've got dibs on royalties.
There you go. From Couture. It's got a bit of a
Pomp
ring.
couture and front couture. Yeah, that is done. We're done. We are
Yeah.
done. And I think it's time for you to go to work. I mean,
Oh
to
yeah.
dig up a
Yeah.
garden.
Getting
People have
that
been
far.
asking, what you been doing this summer, Tracy? No, I'm doing my garden. What have you done? I've done a lot of digging.
There
People must not be giving me any trouble. I have come with a fork and spade.
you go. Exactly. Raise your pitchforks. Raise your
Just to dig,
gardening tools.
just to dig out the dandelions now it's finished May and stuff like that. So been a
The
long
garden's
time
been very
weeding.
lovely. I did see it when I was last over yours. Looks very delightful. We've got a lot of space back there as well.
I
Very
know.
nice.
Once we knocked down the shed, it was bloody marvelous.
Yeah. There you go. Tax on gardening. How much? Oh gosh, we could get into that another
Oh
time.
no,
Even
that's a whole other one.
they're expensive. That's why I buy the fake ones because I know they won't die. So they'll stay pretty
Then you
forever.
have to dust them.
Yeah, that's true. So it's either way, it's tax and it's effort. You have to clean the fake ones. You have to make sure the other ones live. So
Men
it's
think they're taxed to death. We're taxed through our menopause. We're taxed through pregnancy. We're taxed through fucking periods. We're
yeah,
taxed at birth because there's a pink tab on our diaper. We don't
that's
want to know what
hilarious.
the gender reveal is anymore. It's a
Yeah,
kid. We don't care what color they wear anymore. It's for frickin' free for all.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, my darling, I think that's us for today. Goodbye, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and yada yada. And
Goodbye.
love you so, love you all madly. And we'll see you soon.
See you
Ciao.
next time, guys.
Bye.